Hello, Jim Howard here in Fort Worth, Texas. Today it is now September 7th of 2021. It's almost 12:30 a.m. I'm running Manicam, and I don't know if it's the video before this one or the one before that, but there again I had the audio out of sync, and I don't know why. It's in sync, and then all of a sudden I have a video where it's out of sync. And I'm thinking maybe it's because it happened before, but when I added the second USB 3.0 webcam, and maybe that's the cause. Probably also though maybe the cause of me not setting something correctly. Anyway, I've disconnected the Brio, and I'm not sure if I've connected it over here with the C920 or not. Can't remember. Can't remember if I decided to do that or not. The other thing, what was the other thing? I swear, one of these days I'm going to start making notes. One time, a long time ago, I think I was sent it for free to review on Amazon, and it was like a inexpensive teleprompter or whatever. But I could probably do, that somehow with, like my cell phone or something. I'm not sure. But I definitely need it. So anyway, the second camera is disconnected from this setup. And like I mentioned, I'm going to try and hook up that sound card to my Chrome box. I think it will work, but I'm not sure. By the way, just about all, somebody's going to say I should use OBS. And you're probably right, but I like, Manicam is very, much simpler to use. But it, of course it won't do as much. But, let's see, what's going on? Oh. I spend way too much time. Oh, I got to switch so you can see what I'm talking about. I spend way too much time, I mean, way too much time every day reading these questions that are asked and the answers. And I find it because, of course, you get a bunch of people who ask, stupid questions. I mean, there's just a ton, it's like, you know, why don't people understand that Donald Trump was the greatest president? I mean, people, it's that lead, try to say something. I hadn't heard. Well, I heard that I did hear. I heard that when the 13 servicemen came back and landed, were brought into Dover, you know, uh, President Biden and his wife went out there, to pay their respects and to honor them. And Fox News and right-wing sites were saying that President Biden didn't go, and of course he did go. And then I saw somebody, a right-wing commentator someplace, saying that Biden was looking at his watch all the time because he wanted to get out of there because he didn't want to be there really to, and that's kind But anyway, this thing over here that I've been reading for years, and I get started reading and I just keep reading it. It's although you got a whole bunch of stupid people who are trying to, and they're not, a lot of them are not even U.S. people. They're during the elections, before the elections or whatever, there were apparently Russian hackers, or maybe I guess I'm not sure if you call them hackers or not. They were posting things, and they were posting things to try and divide, Democrats and Republicans against each other, and just doing that. But there has been here some really great, things that I wonder about, like this thing about the Marine Corps, officers. Did whether is the sword, given to them, or do they have to purchase it? And it's a person here, Marine Corps or I guess retired U.S. Marine Corps. They have to purchase it. Just all kinds, and I learned an awful lot about. There's a lot of questions. Well, there's just a whole bunch of questions that I find interesting. And the ones I like too. Somebody will ask. The question like, did you ever meet a celebrity and you were surprised, or what's the what's the nicest celebrity you ever met, or what's the meanest one? I always found those kind of questions interesting. Now, of course, you have to understand some of these. Well, a lot of questions are asked, like I said, for political, type of things. So I'll put. Oh, that reminded me. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I just read, and I hadn't heard that, but it makes sense. Somebody said that how terrible it was that the U.S. military left all the service dogs over there in Afghanistan. And of course, somebody, and of course I would just, anybody with a little bit of, and I only have a little bit of smarts, are going to know that would not happen. Those are assigned to a person, and he's going, they're not going to leave them there, But then somebody answered that was a thing that the right wing people were putting out that was untrue. They just sit there and they grind out that crap, but still there is, over the years, I've learned an awful lot, stuff that I did not know, by people asking the questions, but by people answering the questions. Well, here's a question I never thought of. I'm sure they wouldn't. I'm sure the libraries, says here, do libraries put the Bible in fiction or nonfiction? They're not going to put it in. Well, of course, they have a lot of libraries. You have a library in a small town, all that kind of stuff. Somebody might, but that I don't think anybody would dare put it, put it in fiction. Let me see what whoever answers this says. This person says that that is answering as a library employee and lifelong reader. The library where I work uses the Library of Congress, of course, okay, Library of Congress classification scheme, as do many college libraries. In that system, the Bible is classified under Class B, which is used for, philosophy, psychology, or is it physiology? Philosophy, physiology, and religion. Okay. Within Class B, it is the only religious text to get its own subclass, which just happens to be BS, which means most of our copies of the Bible, as well as books about the Bible, have call numbers, again with the letters BS. We've had several complaints over that, but supposedly it's merely a coincidence that things lined up that way. Now somebody is going to, somebody will read this, and somebody will start putting out the thing that the Bible was classified, in the Library of Congress and other places under history, and that Biden has come to office, and he ordered them to change it and put it in a category of bullshit. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that goes on. That I get so tired of that. But I have learned, like this here. I don't need to know it, but I never thought of that. Thought of that before. But let's see. Okay, it doesn't show now. They've gone to something new, and it's just popped up a few times for them, but it's not popping up in everything. And they're going to a $5 a month, a little less if you $5 a month, to access it. Now I'm sure probably they're smart enough to know to not do it totally. I pay for a lot of stuff, more stuff than I should, and I've done that since before you people were born. I can say that because YouTube shows the demographics, and I have the people watching the YouTube videos, the demographics are 18 to, is it 18 to 25 or 18 to 35? I think it's 18 to, maybe it's 35. 100% male. Now, of course, when they do that statistic thing, because there's so many, so there's so few females, that it comes out. I mean, there are some females that do come. But I can pretty much say that, that hey, because the people who are coming to this YouTube channel are, young males, 18 to 25 or 18 to 35. I think it's 18 to, it seems like a short range. Must be 18 to 35. But, so from the very beginning, I donated money. I paid for software. One of the software programs that I paid for before there was a YouTube, before there was an Amazon, before there was a World Wide Web or whatever. A guy wrote a software for a webcam program. He wrote it, and I was using it, and I paid him for it. And he came home from work. His wife, he said that he came home from work. Anyway, I logged in to his thing, and he said, "Jim," he said, I got your check." That's before there was PayPal or anything like that. He said, "I got your check." He says, "You're the first person to pay for the software." He says, "It was great." He says, "My wife has been telling me nobody's going to pay anything for your program, blah, 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 I mean, they weren't fighting or anything. And he said, so I showed her the check. And then his software went on to be purchased by some software company. And when I went into computer stores or whatever, his software would be there for sale. Even when I was working at CompUSA, his program was in a box with a CD or something like that. But it's kind of funny. I thought he was like kind of joking when he said then one day, when he announced that he had sold his program to us all, he said, "We're moving to Hawaii, or we're moving someplace like that." And I thought, haha, yeah. And I don't know how much he got, but never heard from him again. So. Oh, anyway, they're starting to charge. I wonder if I could click here someplace. Let's see. Well, I guess I can just click on something. Let me click on this, see if it pops up. Asking for money. Well, that's funny. Shows. Have I lost internet again? I, uh, you know, we got Spectrum service, and they're pretty good, but from time to time, and it seems like it's always uh, after midnight, I think they must do. Um, they must be sitting there, the technicians, or what? Let's see if I. Okay, let's go here. Showing it. Now, can we try something else? Yeah, apparently we've lost the internet. I'm just going to stick here until it pops back, pops back up. Uh, anyway, they're going. I've been clicking on things tonight. The thing, and the thing pops up saying, $5 a month, or $4 a month if you pay a year ahead or something like that. Anyway, my point was I have paid for tons and tons of donated stuff, but I'm on a limited income, and I've just got to cut down a little bit on some of these things. I even canceled. Is it called Microsoft 365, or is it Office 365, or what in the hell? And I used Outlook Express, the email program, and I mean, I forget what it is, $12 or something or other a month for like their word processing, the word processor, and all these other. It's a good deal, and you can use it across different platforms. But I went ahead and canceled it. I've been paying for it for years and years and years, and not taking advantage of it except for Outlook Express. And actually, Outlook Express has been giving me a little bit of trouble for some reason, so I canceled it. Um, I just had a burrito, one of those frozen burritos. Oh, let me shift back here so you can see that I'm. Let me go back to YouTube. Do this. See if we have a connection. No. Um, my daughter works online. She works online before the virus and all this type of stuff, and she works for a company, uh, and she makes good money, but uh, they have some rules. Uh, One of their rules is, according to her, which I find it fucking hard to believe, she's supposed to be. Uh, she says she's been working for them for years. In fact, she was working for them in Sweden. She spent about 10 years in Sweden. Uh, she's a, well, my daughter. Uh, but she said in Sweden she never ever lost an internet connection. Just never lost an internet connection in Sweden. And here, she's lost it from time to time, and if she's with a client and gets disconnected, the company gets and she's just about one of their most productive people. And if she gets disconnected, it's like strike one or whatever. And even if it's like the other day, so she lives in the same apartment complex we do. She has the same internet provider that we do, except she's got 1 gig down, and I'm paying for 400 meg down, internet service. But we were disconnected the other day for like 2 minutes, and then the service came back, and then we were disconnected for another 2 minutes. Okay, she was with a client. She got disconnected, and then another call. When the service came back, a different caller called in, and she was it was disconnected, and they have suspended her for a few days as to penalize her. But the rule also, which I find totally ridiculous, is, but she says it's their rule, is that there's not to be any background, noise or anything going on. We're 5 miles from a U.S. military air base, and they fly over here, and occasionally you'll hear sirens. That's not too bad, but they have, and you've seen people with since this virus thing that are working from home, TV news reporters, weather. I saw one the other day on CNN, I think it was, where a weatherman is working from home, and it has the fake, screen up or whatever, and then his dog is walking on the screen, because it's walking on the floor or something, but it's walking on the screen. Then we've seen those cute ones where like one guy's with the BBC, and he was working from home, and I'd pull that up if I could put the link to it. If you happen to know the link to it, leave it below. He's reporting on Iraq or Afghanistan or something like that. And so, he's got some books, and he looks very professional. He's at a desk, and he's got the books in the background, that kind of stuff. And the door opens up, and here comes one of his really tiny, kids comes running in. And then I think a second one maybe comes in. And then I guess this shows that I was prejudiced or something, but I think I heard other people thought the same thing too. Then you see the door open, and a lady, looks around, and then she comes in and grabs a kid or grabs them both or something like, and pulls them out, and then the door closes. And I told my ex-wife, "Oh, you got to see this YouTube video." I said, "This is so funny." And I said, "I think it was the maid that." But anyway, see, he's doing BBC World, news, and anyway, then it was on. It said in the thing that I think I saw someplace that people wanted to know if that was the babysitter or the maid or something like that, and it was his wife, And I've seen other things. We all have, But anyway, my daughter's company says there can't be any noise. Fair enough, I've seen the news hour when somebody's making sometimes a report, because of the virus and things, people are talking from their home or something, and you occasionally hear a siren or something like that. Not very often, but that company she's working for. I hope they reinstate her. I mean, they haven't. She's been suspended a few times for a few days in the past for getting disconnected, or whatever from the internet. If you have a recommendation, I told her finally the other day. Well, I tried to. She doesn't. She doesn't listen in a way. I mean, I told her. I said, you could. She's paying $130 a month for 1 gig down. I said, you don't have to spend another hundred. Actually, she can't. In this apartment, these apartments, they have an agreement, or they will allow. You can bring in cable television through this, connector, or you can bring in, and internet through this cable. But if you have that, because of the hole in the wall or the junction box or something, you can't sign up for a second internet service. You can't sign up for DSL, I don't believe. I don't believe you can do that. Nobody talks about DSL anymore. But anyway, I told her, this computer, my Beeline, it has two network connectors on the back, so you can plug in a coaxial, a cable or whatever. And I think I told her, I said, I'm sure that you wouldn't have to spend $130 for two different lines. You could. Now she does use tethering, which I've never used, because she pays extra for that. She's used that as a backup system or something or other. I'm not going to pay, not going to go through that. I think it may be free for some, I'm not sure. What would help her, and they have not available here and not available out at her new place. 5, what is it? The next high speed thing, which is out. What is it called? Cat 5? No, what's it called? But it's not. I checked. It's not available here. It's not available out there where she's going to be setting up. But it is just that it's not like the cell phone towers, can be 5 miles apart or something, 3 miles or that type of stuff. This thing, it's the antennas. They have to be like on every block, on a telephone pole on like every block, and even that's not enough. And I saw where some baseball stadium or sports stadium someplace announced, all the people come on after the game, We've got, well, let's see if I got an internet. I'll try to do okay, we're back. Let me see if it pops up here asking for why, but no, I guess maybe that's, okay. That's because it was already, no, it's not. Okay, let's see if I can. No, we still don't have internet. Well, that's unusual. They've been, oh, you weren't seeing that, were you? Anyway, anyway, this stadium, they advertise that with the new cell phones, You know, you get this much faster service, really fast, uh, in their stadium. But then they say, I guess, uh, not available for the upper tiers, or you know, the upper places where people are sitting up above or whatever, because they have to have those. Uh, so, but for my daughter, you know, she could have, and oh, it's $60 a month, and you get, now if you have your cell phone and it's capable, you know, of doing that. But I saw, and there's YouTube videos of it, the thing's like this tall, and it's wireless, of course, so you pick, you know, and one guy actually, YouTuber, actually, I'm sure the company wasn't happy, he actually opened up the thing and showed where the different antennas were located inside, and whatever. But you know, $60 isn't bad, and I'm paying 105 or 10 or something, only about $30 more, and I could have 1 gig down, but I don't need 1 gig down. Let me see if let me see if, come on now. I mean, I can take, okay, it looks like it's up. Let me refresh this, see if, looks like they're down. Maybe they're down. Let me, what should I pull up here to see if, okay, let me click on Facebook or something. No. I wonder if it's I just started playing with a VPN, not connected. Yeah, it's the internet is down. Well, that's, I guess let's see, how long is it? It's only been 30 minutes, okay. I'm going to stop. Thank you very much for watching.